I like to look at it like this. Right here where this band is, this
Uh-huh.
represents you
Okay.
in your life. And ever since we're very young, we like to rise above where we are, and we're always trying to achieve something.
Hmm.
And so as we go through life, now we're always trying to rise above to a higher level than where we're at. Ever since we're little, when we learn to crawl, we learn to stand, we learn to walk and run. And then when we
Hmm.
get older, we have much bigger goals to go after. And
Sure.
we're
Yeah.
always trying to rise above where we are right now
Hmm.
to go to a higher level. But Panther, if you don't have the right mindset, you're always going to stay stuck down here at this level.
Hmm.
Now, for me, I was in a terrible accident,
Wow.
hit by a drunk driver,
Oh my God.
and I realized a couple things about my life in that moment. Number
Hmm.
one, I almost lost my life in that moment, and also I had a dream of I am a country recording artist, but at the time I wasn't.
Hmm.
But I was writing my own songs when I was about 20, and I had a
Hmm.
dream and a vision of wanting to record my music and share it with the world. And that
Nice.
was when I was about 20. Well, we know how life gets us busy. I'm working full time. Then I got engaged, got married, had a son. So we have a family. And
Hmm.
so fast forward to 35 years old, I was still playing my music for family and friends and doing some things at events, but I wasn't getting in the studio and recording my music like I wanted to. So
Yeah.
when I had that accident, I realized I almost lost my life in that accident. I didn't want to find myself in a position where I almost died with my dream inside of me. So I didn't want to find myself Panther at the end of my life looking back saying, I wish I would have. I wanted to be able to say, I'm glad I did. So it took me on this journey. And
Hmm.
from all the injuries I instilled there, I became a victim of that situation. I couldn't even play my guitar. So all these obstacles I thought were there was
Hmm.
just an illusion. Because what happened is I would try to play my guitar different times throughout this journey after being in the accident, and it was too painful.
Hmm.
And then one day, this is a year into recovery, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed like I had so many times, pulled the guitar up on my lap. I'm trying to play my guitar, and it's too painful.
Hmm.
And so I get angry and I lay flat back on my back and I'm looking up at the ceiling. I'm having this conversation with God. Why did this happen to me? Why, And so God answered me in that moment. And out of frustration, I started strumming on my guitar really hard. And I was like, why, And in that moment, I realized laying flat on my back, playing my guitar in that odd position, I could play my guitar and not be in pain.
Wow.
And that gave me this huge mindset shift that took me from being a victim of the situation to committing to I can play my guitar. And in
Hmm.
that moment, I made this commitment to myself that
Hmm.
when I got healed up from this, I didn't know how long it was going to take. There was nothing, and I mean nothing, that was going to hold me back from getting into the studio and recording my music. So it didn't happen overnight. But what
Hmm.
I want to point out to people is as I went on this journey, got back to work, I could afford to get in the studio, took time. I recorded my music, which led me into a lot of different things. But in that moment, before this mindset shift, I become a victim. I was shut down mentally, physically, emotionally. But
Hmm.
after I had that huge mindset shift that made me believe that it's possible again, because I thought I lost that time to fulfill my dream. When you get the right mindset, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that's going to stop you to be able to rise above what you think are obstacles here. These are just an illusion. It's a
Hmm.
mental block. And when you get that switch in your mind and you take I can out of the equation, amazing things can happen in your life.
Hmm. You take that T away, and then suddenly you're left with I can, right?
Exactly. And that's actually one of the first things that when I work with people, through coaching, whether it's business or individuals, is I take them through a process where I teach them to take I can't out of their vocabulary, out of their mind, out of their thought process. So that is no longer an option. And you switch it to I can, I will, I must. like your
Mhm.
life depends on it. And when you get that different mindset shift and you realize that you are in control, basically is what it is. You can choose to become a victim to a situation and let it hold you back and blame everything and everybody on why you're not getting what you want in life. Or you can start making some positive changes that can help to lead you to your successes that you want.
I agree so much. I think that we think that, someone super successful, like take Steve Jobs, he died with billions into his name, but he would gladly trade all 7 billion or however much he was worth just for the chance to be where you and I are, alive, breathing, able to live another day, another week. So what we have is so precious. It's beyond any price. And so a lot of people think, if I only, if I had, $100,000 or 50, $500,000, whatever it amounted is that you're like, oh, I can't because of this. Well, someone like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or anyone else who's really gotten a lot, it doesn't mean anything to them. What means everything to them is being alive and being able to just do what they're passionate about.
Yes, that is so true. It is. But yes, life is a journey, and I believe that we're all here for a purpose. We all have
Mm,
talents, gifts, and abilities. And I believe that when you get depressed and down and stuff, it's because you're not focused on what it is that you're meant to be here to do with you're here to serve others with your talents, gifts, and abilities. And I never set out on this journey in the beginning to think that I'd become a motivational speaker and a coach and stuff to help people to realize their potential.
mhm,
But I think that once you get on the path that you're meant to be on, it was because of my music. When I went on to record my music, I was working for a school district.
mm,
And so by me just stepping foot in the door because I was a local celebrity, because I was in our newspaper and radio and television, then the students would get all excited when I come in and they're like, oh, there's Sonny James, and they'd want to get my autograph and,
mhm.
talk to me and stuff.
Nice.
And so the teachers and the principals asked me, well, do you think you could bring in your guitar someday? You have such a positive impact just walking through the door,
Mhm.
for our students. Do you think you could consider bringing in your guitar and singing some songs with the students? And I agreed to that. And when I did that, I just felt compelled to say some important messages about believing in themselves and having a dream and following it and being respectful to themselves, their students, their fellow students, their teachers, their parents,
Mhm.
and things like this. And I just had such a passion about it, and it set me on a path for motivational speaking for students and business professionals and athletes. And it's been a fun journey, and I really enjoy it.
So you've helped some students learn how to speak themselves and overcome that stage fright and whatever and learn how to get their message across.
Well, what I do more for the students is just by telling my story of following my dream.
I
I
see.
do a totally interactive program where with the students I share my music, but I also get them involved in interactive activities. We talk about the importance of believing in yourself and believing in each other, using our words in a kind way to uplift each other, and
Mm,
also to realize that you have the potential of whatever your mind can see, you can achieve. So having a dream, like I talk about, my dream was my music, and I was following my dream. And if
mhm,
you follow and keep, your goals in focus where you can see them and work on them, you can, bring them out of your mind and into reality. And so I invite them to have a dream and like I said, to follow them, inspire
mhm,
that in them, and then also just good character values, having a positive attitude, just good things that lead to having a good foundation for achieving what it is that they want, but also inspiring them to do good in school, because that's where it all starts, getting a solid foundation with your education and stuff. And
Mhm.
that's where that starts with the students.
Mhm. I agree. It's like they say, if you can't, if you think you can't, you're right, and if you think you can, you're right. Either way, you're right.
Yes. Well, I've heard that statement many times. I kind of disagree with it. I think if you're
Oh,
believing you can't, you're on the wrong path because it's going to lead you to nowhereville fast.
yeah.
But yes, however you can believe you can believe you can't, whichever way you believe is what's going to create your reality and your outcome. And that's why
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
like to encourage people to believe in themselves, the importance of taking I can't out of your mind. So it's no longer there. And encourage them. I say write out, I can, I will, I must. Post it on places where you can see it. Take a picture of it, keep it on your phone.
Hmm.
Constantly reminding yourself of this, that you are more powerful, that uh the power that you have inside you is so enormous that most of us don't even begin to tap into our true potential of what we are capable and stuff. But I also, like you talked about some highly successful people and where they're at in life. And a lot of people, I'd take people through an exercise where
Hmm.
I get them to visualize what it is that their main goal is, and to visualize someone that's already there in that position that they would like to be in.
Hmm.
And how important it is to realize that that person doesn't have anything inside them that you don't already have inside of you. When they began, they were just in the position where you're at right now. What you didn't see is you're seeing they're highly successful, but what you didn't see is there's time of stumbling in the beginning where they were trying to find their way. And it's so important to persevere and keep on going no matter what happens. Your success is a matter of you keep getting up and keep going forward rather than to give up. It's the reason why others don't have the success they want is because after they get a little bit of failure, sometimes for people it's a little bit of failure and they just it's too hard, give up. Others they try hard for a while, and sometimes you just need to step back and get a new perspective on it.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have to get others involved, um, that can help give you a new perspective, a new angle that maybe you're just not seeing it from, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know. But, just like me with my music, I didn't know anything about uh, recording music or how to get into a studio or where to go or whatever. And it was a journey. And some of it was a struggle, and but you just got to keep on going. And it's like, to give you an example, when I first started wanting to finally get on the path of wanting to get my songs and stuff in the studio, and I got to the point where I could financially afford to get into a studio.
Hmm.
I was working with a local studio, and being in a very small town, you have very limited stuff compared to what you do in a big town. I was having problems right off the bat. The gentleman was having problems with technical issues in his studio, and then he had very limited time. And then I got some musicians on board, and then slowly they would either not show up or they would call
Oh
and
my
say
gosh.
they're busy and they can't. And
Wow.
I was like, and this was dragging on, and I was like 6 months down the road, and then I was like, I still wasn't in the studio recording yet because I couldn't get all the pieces of the puzzle.
Uh,
Then I ended up, I saw an article in a newspaper that said that there was going to be a singing competition over in another town that's like an hour away. And
oh,
if you won that competition, you would win a certain amount of time in a recording studio, which is very expensive.
okay.
So I set a goal. I'm going to go enter this with the hopes that I can win it. Well, I didn't win it, but Dr. Panther, Francisco, what it did lead me to the person who had a studio, because the gentleman that was offering that the award was going to be time in a studio. He
Hmm.
came to the event the very first night, and they introduced him and said, if you win, this is whose studio you're going to be in. And I went over and I talked to him and I said, hey, whether or not I win this, I need to be connected with someone in the studio. This is what I'm struggling with. I'm struggling at finding musicians and a good studio, that everything's going to be working when I go in there. And he's like, I'm down in Pittsburgh. If you need any kind of musician, we have all kinds of studio musicians. I myself can do backup vocals, I can do drums, I can do harmonies, all these things. So
Nice.
right there, by just taking a step forward and not giving up where I was before, and then still, you just have to believe in what you're doing and keep striving forward. And then there's still some problems and stuff that come up, but it's mainly not giving up when
Mhm.
you have resistance, when you have what you think are things that are unachievable because you're having problems and struggles of some sort. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a step back, getting a new perspective on and a new view from where you're at, and just keep on going. If you really believe in what you're doing, don't give up.
Absolutely. I love that story you just told me because I wonder how many people were there in that same singing competition and they're like, I really hope I win. I really hope I win because, this is the prize. And you had the mindset of, you know what? I'm going to win. I'm going to win this prize. The competition matters less because this prize of getting my songs recorded is going to happen. It no longer became dependent on the competition. It was dependent on you. You had the right mindset. You're like, okay, this is going to happen. How many of us are waiting like, okay, I'm going to play the lottery or going to wait for the right company to hire me or whatever. At a certain point, we're like, okay, I'm going to make this happen. It's not going to be dependent on the judges or the company HR hiring me or this company or that. It's dependent on me. So I love that story that you told for that reason.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize that the end result is you. You you can become a victim to it when you have struggles, or you can, just knuckle down and say, I'm going to overcome whatever this is. And like what I was showing with those bands, when you have what you think are all these struggles and obstacles and stepping stones that you have to overcome, and sometimes that can get overwhelming. But sometimes when you get the right mindset, nothing's going to hold you back. You're going to go over it, under it, around it. Sometimes you might even have to carve your own path and pioneer your own path to get there.
Mhm.
And but yeah, that's the important part to realize. And the funny part about it was when I first started recording my music down in that studio, the person that did win and I worked with him for a year and a half because I was recording 11 of my originals. So it took time. I
Yeah,
couldn't get
sure.
down there every weekend. I had to save up money, and then I would try to be down there for an entire day for several hours so we could get a lot done.
Mhm.
And over that course of time, the person that won that competition still had yet to get in contact with him to use that free studio time that they had won. See, I was the
Wow.
only one that was in that competition that was an original artist that wrote my own music and had a dream of recording it. Most
I
of
see.
those other people were just singing other people's songs, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
But I had a different agenda and stuff. And it's funny because when I would perform at fairs and festivals and in different events, people would say to me, wow, you sing a lot of your original, music. And I said, well, I'm an original artist. I said, if if all these people think about the people that you like that you hear on the radio, Shania Twain and just all a multitude, uh Conway Twitty, all these, Dolly Parton or any, Toby Keith, all these people that you hear on the radio and that you love their music. Well, if all they did was sing other people's music, they would have never themselves become the person that you come to know and love their music for. Um,
Yeah,
God
absolutely.
inspired me, my ability of writing music and stuff. And so I believe that that's my journey. Part of my journey is to share my original music. So, and, but anyhow, it's been a fun journey. And like I said, that led me into motivational speaking and then also putting together my own systems and stuff about, I call it the champion mindset. And that is,
Mhm.
um, you know, getting yourself in tune with yourself and stuff, because I believe your mindset is the biggest obstacle that you'll have to overcome in your life to achieve the success you want in the different areas of your life.
Mhm. I agree. I think that most people feel held back by, they would say, their circumstances. They would say, "Well, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough resources, I don't have enough experience," all of these things. But really, the two things that you have and I have, everyone has, are the most important. And no one has the same amount of, no one has the same amount of skills, no one has the same amount of talents, money, etc. All of those gifts are distributed very differently. But what does God give everyone? He gives everyone a mind. He gives everyone 24 hours in a day. So the two most valuable gifts that you have, God gives the same to everyone. He gives everyone a mind. He gives everyone 24 hours in a day. So that's what you have that is most precious. The time that you have and your ability to use it and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do today.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's a good point. Yep. And I mean, another example of that is look at how many people you hear the stories of that have come from absolutely nothing. They
Mhm.
weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but yet they went on to achieve great things. Because it was their determination and getting others to believe in them and help out and as they went along. And they just had such a strong, charismatic personality and a strong belief in who they were and what their mission was, that nothing was going to stop them.
Absolutely.
And then they went on to achieve high success in whatever area that they did. And that's what I'm saying is and that's why I take people through that visualization of thinking, okay, you're wanting to achieve this. I want you to think of someone that you admire that's already in that position that you want to be. And and then you get them locked into your mind. Well, I want to tell you this. There is nothing that person doesn't have that you don't already have inside yourself
Mhm.
and stuff. And I think it
If
helps to
if I
bring a
can if I
perspective.
can hop in here, so I want to take you up on that and say, who is one person that you admire?
One person that I really admire for his success is someone that's been one of my mentors, and that's James Malinchak.
Uh-huh.
He's the one that I didn't even know that you could get paid to speak. And when I started getting in front of the students and saying some important messages as I was sharing my music, uh,
Mhm.
that was probably over 10 years ago. And then I looked up some things and I found him, and he teaches people how to take their talents, gifts, and abilities, and he teaches people not how to speak, but how to get the speaking gigs, how to reach the decision makers, how to put yourself in a position, where you can help others in the area of whatever it is that you speak on. And
Mhm.
so, and you know what? It's kind of interesting because he's also from the area close nearby, down by Pittsburgh, is where he was born and raised.
Okay.
He came from a middle class family, and he didn't start off wanting to become a speaker. He wrote a book when he was going through college. He was an average student, and then he wrote a book on from college to the real world. And then he started selling that and stuff, and let him he talked to professors about being able to speak in front of his college students for free, just to talk about his message of college to the real world and how to get a successful job of what you want when you get out of college. And then
Mhm.
next it led him step after step, and then today he's still a very highly successful speaker in that realm. So yeah, I'd have to say James Mounchak, and he's um a real down to earth person, but he's just taken simple concepts and applied them in his life, and it's brought him really good success. But he's also been a successful mentor to others.
Mhm. Nice. And what is one way that you would like to be more, see your life reflect more like James Malinchek, like something that you would like to be more, how would you like your life to be more like him? Or what you do to be
Well,
more like him?
I would like to be more like him on being more of a bigger stages than what I'm used to being on.
Mhm.
And to and that's where I'm on a journey right now to I'm writing some books, The Champion Mindset for Business and Life
Uh-huh.
Success, and I want to be able to help students, athletes, and business professionals to get the right mindset to help them get the right success for themselves in their life.
Mhm. And what is your preferred way to work with people? I mean, you're coming into classes and maybe auditoriums and speaking to them and playing some music. Do you work with people one-on-one, or do you prefer a group setting? How is your what is your vehicle for delivery, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Well, I have been known in the past to, um, do those types of events. And I'm also extending out now where I want to be talking to business professionals. I'm working on becoming a corporate speaker where
Mhm.
I use my singing magic and also hypnosis as a way to relay and convey important life messages that help people have the right mindset so that they can achieve the success and the goals that they set for themselves, whether they're students. I believe with students, it's important to build that foundation for them about your mindset and how it works for your success in life. With athletes, it helps them put them in a strong
Mm,
position, especially before they go into competition, uh,
mhm.
to be able to achieve the outcome that they want. And then for business professionals to help to them to rise above where they are now to improve their business, and learn to set goals for their business, whether that is to get more sales, get more customers, overcome problems within their company and stuff like that. So I do that virtually as well as I'm just starting the process, like I said, to become a corporate speaker, to talk to businesses, both virtually and live in person and stuff. So a lot of corporations have corporate events, and that's what I'm looking to be part of to help them uh, glean how important your mindset is, to change their mindset, give them
Mhm.
some tips and techniques to do that, and to start applying them. I'm also a person, I believe, TNT, today, not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get into procrastination with things, but if you start changing your mindset and then start applying things, TNT, today, not tomorrow,
I love
and
that. I'm gonna write that
keep things in
down.
focus, keep your goals in focus so that you're able to commit to them and persevere till you achieve them. But these things with changing your mindset and taking action consistently and persistently and not giving up, and you'll achieve a lot more than what you will without changing your mindset to this kind of thinking. It's like a growth mindset.
Mhm. So what tips do you have for someone who wants wants to begin public speaking like you are, speaking to groups and corporations, and how would you recommend someone get started?
Well, first of all, you have to know who your key audience is that you want to speak to,
Mhm.
and then uh, you have to be able to convey to the decision makers what it is, what type of transformation, what are they going to get, what's their audience going to get out of your talk that's going to help make a difference for their business or for their students or for their athletes or whoever your audience is. And so you want to, give your talk a name, and you and also too, you have to have an understanding for whatever market you want to speak to. You have to understand, and you can easily use your phone and Google these things and find out like what that specific market is looking for when they hire speakers. And
Mhm.
you want to, place make sure that what you're speaking on is placed in a topic that they hire speakers for.
That makes sense.
And but anyhow, then learning how to reach out, finding the decision makers and reaching out to them. You want to also have some important uh, things that make you look like the person that you're portraying to for a speaker. You want to have some video and some photos of yourself speaking to audiences that you're, talking that you want to talk to. In the beginning, you can give some free talks um, to either schools or businesses or athletes. And like I said, uh, get some video footage down so that you look professional when you send off something to someone to consider having you come speak there. But that's a beginning point.
Mhm.
Most important thing is know your audience of who you want to speak to and have important topics that that audience will, hire speakers for.
Mhm. Cool. Thank you for that advice.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Um, so what is next for you? Like 6 months out, a year out? What are your goals near term?
Well, right now I'm finishing up a book that I'm writing called The Champion Mindset for Business and Life Success, which is geared towards more of a corporate audience. And so that'll have different tips and techniques and things that they can take away and apply in their everyday life that can help them to rise above where they're at and start getting success for themselves in life and in their business. And so right now I'm on a journey to head in that direction more strongly and to be reaching out to businesses and corporations to uh, get hired as a corporate speaker for them to help them uh, to be able to uplift their employees, their workers, their associates to a higher level than where they are right now.
Nice. And a if there's a business or a corporation that wants to get in touch with you, how do they go about reaching you to come speak to their event?
Well, they can reach out to me at Sunny James dot or Sunny at sunnyjames.com, and Sunny is spelled with a U. So Sunny James or Sunny at sunnyjames.com.
Okay.
And also, if I may, I do have a free gift. Would it be okay to include just a quick reference to a website to get a free gift from me for?
Yes, please do. Absolutely.
Sure. Okay, let me bring this down in the window here where they can see it. And that's
You know
Sunny
what?
James.
Wait, give me 1 minute. I'm going to have to flip you back because I flipped the screen and now I have to put you back the right way. Let's see, reset transfer.
And I can even make this a little bit smaller so
Okay,
it's
that
not.
one. That did not work.
And if I have to there, does that show up okay there?
It will. I just need to flip this. Let's see. Flip. There we go. Now you're okay. Got it.
So yes, if you go to sunnyjames.com/gift, that'll, give you it's a free gift from me to you that can help you start on a journey to have a few tips to help change your mindset uh, for success in your life, for business and life success.
Wonderful. We appreciate that. And I agree with you. Mindset is huge. It makes all the difference. So the title of my catchphrase, I guess, is my catchphrase is This makes all the difference. So if you would please say, this makes all the difference, and then tell us in like one sentence what makes all the difference that you provide.
This makes all the difference. And I believe that your mindset makes all the difference between you getting what you want in life and not getting what you want in life. So change that picture in your mind, change your outcome with your mindset.
Beautiful. Thank you. I also want to say that I loved the somatic elements. You brought out the bands and you were showing them on. I think that is something that is very useful. Too many people think that we are just brains inside a box. We are never brains inside a box. We are always people, and the our body and our minds interact in intricate ways that we probably don't even fully understand. So all of those somatic elements of, okay, touching, okay, we are here, and then the blue band, and that represents your experience of being of Kant and victimhood, which you took off, and then the bands are able to grow up, and you say, okay, I'm moving up higher in my plan of where I want to be in life. All of that is so useful, and I loved your use of that.
Well, thank you. It's just, um, I think, an important analogy to make people realize that you are in control ultimately. And so don't become a victim to your circumstance, whatever that is. Don't become an excuse maker. Get rid of that kind of thinking and start just focusing on what you want. And you'll be able to rise above to the level that you want. Because I believe all those obstacles and stuff, they're just an illusion that make you
Absolutely,
think it's
yes.
impossible. But that's what I
Absolutely,
want,
yes.
to change your mindset so it makes the impossible possible.
Mhm. Well, Sunny, I love meeting you. I love your energy. I love your message of mindset and transforming our mindsets. So it's been a real pleasure having you here, and I look forward to working with you, having you come and speak for me, or maybe being on sharing a stage sometime.
Well, I would love that. So thank you for having me here. It's been a great pleasure meeting you, and thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.